want to say thank you for having me. And I love being a part of a platform such as this. I mean, your sweatshirt says it all, the title of your company, the Fearless Artist. That has been me my entire life, always afraid to move forward, but trusting my instincts and trusting that I was a great person and that I represented greatness. And so my moving forward through fear made me fearless. So I love that. But I think some of my characteristics growing up, I've always been just an artist. I'm what you call um, a performer, a complete artist, in every facet of the word. Every fashion of the word. As far as decorating, growing up, always performing in the living room. I was in proficiency in English programs. I was always the one writing poems and essays, trying to do the eighth grade graduation speech. I never got a chance to, but I always, wanted to give the speech at graduation. I always participated. I was in everything the school had to offer, or at least I tried to be a part of it. Um, yeah, I'm just, and a lot of people say I'm the same as an adult. I'm the same as I was then. I'm very helpful, very carefree. Yeah, those are my characteristics. Just a complete artist, loving to get involved. I always created groups. I was the group. I created my own drill team. When I created the Intelligent Black Women's Coalition, it was because I was so used to having groups and creating stuff. So once I became, this got this record deal, I said, wait, I don't want to lose my crew. I have a
Yeah,
group of women who are still with me, and I wanted to be a part of that. So, yeah,
I
bit
love
of my
that
characteristics.
because that's like all right. So I want to get into that because you're already talking about like building a community for your sisters,
Yes.
for each other, so that
Hmm.
that rising tide can lift all boats. So that if I'm got it, you can get it
Right.
kind of attitude. So um, like you were really young when you like first like blew
Yeah.
up. How did you go from like regular kid just living to that moment? Like you obviously had that ambition. Like how did you take it to the professional level? Like beat down those doors. What was that like?
It was really very challenging for me. I mean, it happened overnight. Fresh out of high school, Ice Cube leaving NWA. He's looking for a female artist. I was the best on the West. I was in every talent show. I was performing. People knew my name. I was battling luncheon. I was battling every recess I had an opportunity to. I was writing rhymes for my boyfriend, and walking up to him, ha ha, you're busted, to get to meet Ice Cube. An artist who had lyrics, a bitch is a bitch. I ain't the one. Really confronting women and really downplaying women, and me who was in all of these contests, really defending women, almost in the Queen Latifah form of who you calling a bitch type of scenario. And meeting Ice Cube was it really took me back. I really met an artist, and so I love that straight off the back. Meeting Ice Cube was meeting an artist. I didn't meet NWA. I didn't meet Ice Cube from NWA. I met an artist, and so we instantly connected, working with Ice Cube, creating the lyrics, creating this hype, creating this image was for me very new because all I saw was community. All I knew was I was a young girl out of South Central Los Angeles who was just a Cali chick, not really understanding the impact. I think when I realized how powerful music was, how big my voice was, and how hip hop was shaping America, I started to change. Although I was all in for the image of whatever, okay, let's go. Let's go. Then finding out hip hop has so much power and words have power. Having the Intelligent Black Women's Coalition on the side, I started. kind of like, oh, wait a minute, this is like a little bit much for me. I want to represent myself in a different kind of way. I want to be, and so that began the journey of my life, and trying to trying, having something like Jello in my hand and trying to make it solid.
Oh, wow. Wow. So that's oh, so how did you feel, like when did you sort of realize that, okay, I have to take control of my destiny, my
Image.
my image? Like,
Mm-hmm.
did you were you in a predominantly male environments most of
Totally,
the time, like the
totally,
studio, on tour?
totally, totally. Public Enemy, every Too Short, Kid Rock, Digital Underground, EPMD, you name it, DJ Quick, E40, Spice One, E40, you name them. I mean, all the way from the east to the west. I think, I think I never really knew, and I'd say this now as an adult, but when I signed my first deal at the age of 18, I had no idea what demographic I was speaking to. I had no idea what radio stations would be playing my music. It never even crossed my mind to even consider that. I never knew the power of it. It was just the excitement of, wow. It's almost like somebody saying to you, hey, listen, you've been acting in plays your whole junior high and high school. Now I'm going to put you on television. You really don't know what station's playing you, who they're pitching to. So it's almost the same in music. I think I didn't really understand. Once I started doing interviews and really having journalists constantly try to figure me out, make me figure myself out, because it was such a male-dominated industry, and so many women was dressed down. First thing, oh, are you a gay female? Are you gay? Why are all the female rappers gay? It was because of the stereotype with the clothes, and then it was the hood. And what do you think about men calling women bitches? And do you consider yourself one? And those were questions you really had to, and you really, it started making me kind of understand, like, wow, the perception. I remember the first time they ever labeled it gangster rap, and I said, wait, I don't do gangster rap, and so I think I really started realizing how big, because at that time it was hip hop had no label. I mean, the sticker wasn't on the parental guidance sticker hadn't been there yet. We had, this is during the Dolores Tucker
You did
days.
Dolores Tucker. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Dolores Tucker days where they were saying, hey, listen, are the radio companies making
Mentorship.
you, behave like this? And you're like, wait. So I think I started understanding my power when I did this big event, and I heard a little girl. It was a Christmas event, and I was doing community service and speaking to some young girls at a juvenile, a group home, a foster home scenario, and the girl came rapping someone's lyrics, and I said, whoa, 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 you can't say that. And at that moment, a whirlwind. When I said that to her, I said, it just hit me. I was like, wow, like all this time I'm telling journalists I'm not a role model. It's up to you. I'm following all of the men. I'm not a role model. It's up to you to raise your kids, because I patterned myself after them. I didn't know I didn't have a public relations rep quizzing me before these interviews. So I was just following the leader. And I just, what, after I said, whoa, 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 don't say that, it just came back to me like, whoa, here I was. I must look like a fool to the media. I've been saying I'm not a role model. I'm not this, I'm not that. It's up to you to raise your own kid. I didn't want to take responsibility. And it was at that moment, um, I knew I was bigger than music. I knew my journey was more than music, I should say.
Wow. That's so powerful. Like I can visualize what a great story. So what did you do then? What did you do then?
I did this song. You know, I started talking to Cube. I said, listen, I wanted to change my image. I wanted to change my image. I didn't want to the baggy clothes. I was, sick of them asking questions. I wanted to like become more feminine. I was like, I want to just try to shape myself. I wanted to do more. I wanted to do a song, that empowered. I was like, listen, if the community and the hoods are taking on to this music, maybe we can do something to uplift. Let's do something uplifting. I created the song Black Pearl, which got very little play. However, it has impacted so many women over the years that I've met, and something that really touched me, and it was Black Pearl, pretty little girl. Let me lift you up where you belong. Black Pearl, pretty little girl. You've been in the background much too long. And the lyrics are like, coming at you. Can you feel what I'm feeling? Some soul sisters need some natural healing. Gifted, shifted. So come follow me and let me take you on the sister to sister journey. Pride, I got mine. You better get it before they grab it like a cold Pepsi Cola. Say I gotta have it. Staying back too long when you really got it going on. It ain't nothing wrong with being strong, but you don't hear me though. And those lyrics were because that was the Sister Act 2. There was, I mean, not Sister Act 2, those school days where light skin, dark skin. My oldest sister was very dark skinned, and even I joked with a blackie, blah blah blah. And it was just like in the community. But once I started touring and going around and realizing that there was a real issue between loving yourself, loving your skin tone, loving who you are, valuing yourself, and getting out of the stereotypes of that we were placing on ourselves and others was placing on us as well. That song really meant a lot to me. So I started changing.
And like that's a hard pivot again in this situation where the executives are men, the producers are
Mm-hmm,
men, the money
mm-hmm,
people are men, and
mm-hmm,
it's like, okay, um, they have such a heavy hand in things that
mm-hmm.
you feel like very alone when it's your time to speak up, but you also know that you have to do that. Were
Mm-hmm.
there any women in the business that you got any help or mentorship from, advice, anything?
And that was so crazy. I always thought, like, being a female in this industry, that there was going to be someone along this journey to pull me to the side to say, hey, don't do that. And, oh, let me school you on this. And, hey, here's something you should know. There was none of that. I thought there would be, even being signed with the fabulous Sylvia Rohn, who I love so much. And she did, protect me as much as she could. But there was just none of that which I thought, and part of the reason why I created the Yo-Yo School of Hip Hop is because along my journey, I thought there was going to be some kind of person to say, hey, and I was just thinking, getting into this industry, Cube getting robbed by Jerry Heller, and, Temptations, people fighting for their royalties, people fighting for their money, and, this whole situation with this industry and this whole sabotage against artists and labels, and robbing them for their money. And you have so many successful artists and they're broken. I was just thinking somebody, because we've had so many art legends to look up to, was going to just like give you the information. And it was just none of that. And so it was really a letdown. I mean, it was really I mean, and those who were in the industry, a lot of them, and such and it's such a dogmatic industry, to put it lightly, that to even find sisterhood in this industry was scarce. Because it was one female artist to a clique. So, in order to
To a
stay
click
on,
of
it was
men.
almost
To a click of men.
yeah. One group to a man. Yo-Yo was with Ice Cube. Queen Latifah was with this crew. Moni Love was with the De La Soul crew. It was Little Kim, Foxy Brown. It was
Yeah,
everyone had a clique.
yeah, yeah. You're the girl of the clique.
Yeah, yeah. So it was almost like, to have a friend, it was almost like, why? Why do you want to be my friend? Like, I don't know if I'm gonna battle you. I don't know if I'm going against you. I don't know if it's even cool. Do the clicks link? Which was one thing I loved about Queen Latifah and MC Light and Moni Love. I know old school artists, but was able to really, not in the beginning, but push past that kind of stereotype and become MC Light and I mean, Queen and I are really good friends, but MC Light and I really became friends, and it really kind of broke the ice for me when we really became friends and it wasn't just industry, you know?
Yeah, because then you can have, you probably download, very few people can understand where you coming from.
And now you can really ask her questions like, what the hell? Did they send you this? Is this what you should do? Should I sign this? Have you went through this? Have you experienced this? Now it became a situation where you can now talk to somebody on a level of understanding, a level of respect. Now we were not just label mates, but we were friends. Now, we got out of the mind of it's me against you. It was this industry, this against us. And we need to get together sooner than later before it swallow you up.
Can you imagine an industry where women are like equal and like they're producing as much, they're running things as much, every aspect, they're managing, they're handling the lawyers and the accountants and giving you some financial literacy.
Exactly.
You sign these things.
Listen, that's what it really is all about. That's what it really is all about. It really is about getting over this, um, getting over this hype of being better than or knowing more than, or I have to put myself here and place you here. And I think they do that. I mean, this industry has made so many people rich and famous, yet they are not able to sustain themselves past going to the next level or needing the industry. You would think, does a Temptation really need the label? You would think, does a Megan the Stallion, really need a label? Uh, it puts you in that place where you don't really understand your power. And like you said, when we get more women to bind together and help elevate each other by sharing information such as today, allows that kind of freedom to start taking place, and especially with this younger generation.
I feel like, what do you think about this? It seems like the system just keeps perpetuating the same sort of cycle where some guy picks some girl out that's really hardworking and it has good intentions about herself, and tells her, okay, you need to be insecure about this about yourself so you can be on a level of whoever is popular right now. You got to change. You're good because I see you, but nothing technically about you is good.
Right.
So that has been happening forever.
Yes.
Forever. Elizabeth Taylor, Judy Garland, from all the way Marilyn Monroe, all the way to now.
Right. Some man's image of what a woman.
That when you take a picture of it might look okay, but in reality, like you got a lot of people regretting just how they have to do these different sacrifices, what it did to them emotionally. Not just
Yeah, the surface looks clean, but the kitchen's still dirty. Yeah, wouldn't pass inspection. Yeah. I mean, and it's so to talk about, even it's taboo. It's almost like a code of silence sometimes to even taboo. People always say, would you write a book about the industry? And they say, yeah. I said, I need to write a book about my life. There's some people's feelings I don't want to hurt because the truth has to be spoken. And in order to write a book, you really have to break some chains.
Yes, it's true. I mean, I've been in the entertainment and music, but mostly art the last 10 years, and for 20 years since
wow.
So
Wow.
I've come across, I've been mostly in New York this whole time, but like come across a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
and behind the scenes, I worked at MTV for a couple of years, so
Wow.
you see a lot of things that are not what they seem. It's not glamour. So I always be like, would you like to make these certain trade-offs in life to have
Mm-hmm.
certain things where you don't even
Mm-hmm.
really truly feel safe around
Mm-hmm.
people? You know, anything,
Yeah.
everybody's trying to make a buck off of you, or
Mm-hmm.
you know, everyone is around you. You're sort of paying them to be around you and facilitate your life, and that's the people who you end up connecting with and bonding with. But it's a rare type of thing to sort of have to be, again, powerful, because you
Yeah.
have the power.
Yeah.
There's no one there to let you know that. So that's
Yeah.
where your like presence is so important. It's
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
important because it's a lot of women out there that are artists and generating a lot of money for a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people.
Of course. Yeah.
So they need to think about that, and
Yeah,
like think
and you
about
talked about,
funding other projects for
yeah,
other women.
yeah, and you talked about sustainability. Like, in order, it takes a lot to, keep yourself up. It's easy to what we consider sell out, um, but to make yourself to feel good about who you are as a woman, it's you have to start. You know you have to there comes a time where you just have to be real with yourself. Like, I remember, get real with yourself. uh, and I went to acting school to learn how to act. But I mean, and we talk about the journey. When I talk about my journey to fearless, I just didn't arrive here. you know uh, I said to myself, I want to be great. What is greatness? Greatness is emptying myself and then filling myself back up with what I consider to be great. Taking out everything that people have placed in me that made me pretentious, pretending to be this way, pretending to be happy, pretending to love a certain way, pretending to like certain things, pretending to be what everybody wanted me to be. Taking all of that out and then putting it back in. And the putting back in is educating yourself. Lack of confidence breeds failure. It only makes you do things that you would never do. So, you say, okay, I went to school to do acting. Because I was sick of having these type of roles. I was sick of just playing the Shanae and Kilo Lo. I wanted to do some other roles. I went to acting school. This is just me listening to my heart, following my journey, and doing the best. Not just being mediocre. I just didn't want to go to acting school. I went to the best acting school. I went to Lee Strasberg, and I went to learn how to act, and I learned how to get real. I did that make me want to come back to Los Angeles and go to acting? No, it made me confident in who I was because I realized that I was a fake yo-yo and not a real yo-yo. I wasn't real in who I was as an artist. Yet here I was getting pumped up, dragged from state to state, interview to interview, and without taking that time to even invest in myself, taking that time to educate myself in something else. And what education does, no matter if you use it to excel for a bigger paycheck or whatever, educating yourself just puts you in a place to make you stop and think and look at yourself. It gives you time to yourself. It gives you time to hear someone else. And that's what it did for me on all levels. I mean, my journey to fearless with educating, learning to be real with myself has sustained me because how long can fake go? How long can you be pretentious? Do you understand? And there are some people who go a long way with it, but how long can you? I feel like I've given my name a new meaning because of the new me, um, the investment I've put in myself, and it's made me want more than just music. I didn't want music when I was trying to figure out who I was. That Jello I was telling you about. Imagine me trying to build a foundation for myself because I was saying, "Oh God, how long can I do music? I can't do it forever." And doing other things allowed me to say, oh God, I can still be myself. I can be me. I can still do music. There is no limit to it. But when I was just acting on this young girl from 17 to an adulthood without having stopped and taken care of myself, stopped and taken classes, stopped and invested into myself, I wouldn't be able to sustain, to where I am today, even to pour back into a whole generation of those who are eager and hungry for knowledge and information.
I am like everything you're saying. It's just giving me life. It's giving me energy. It's like my mission too. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I just any chance I get. So I have right here on this call like a lot of our students from the Young Curators program, and these are some exceptional people. We started this program at the beginning of the year. We had over 150 applications from around the world of young people 17 to 30 that want to learn how to get into the art industry and
Wow.
curate and create creative placemaking for other artists.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically this business.
Yeah.
Because if they can go to their communities with these skills and
Mm-hmm.
keep on making this place for these open mics or these young curators showcases, and that's what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so like we end up with over close to 50 for our first cohort. So we have
Wow.
a class of 50 that meets every 2 weeks
Wow.
from all around the country and the world, learning how to, become this generation's voice and,
Yeah.
activate,
Yes. Yes.
implement. So
Yeah.
it's just like a perfect opportunity. Many of them are multidisciplinary artists, performers, actresses, directors, singers, all of these different skills,
Wow.
rappers in this
Yeah.
group. And I'm so proud of them, photographers, directors, everything is in this group right here.
Wow.
I would love for them to take this chance to meet you and say hello,
I love
ask
it.
questions,
Yes.
and get this wisdom, get this
Yes.
jewel, this platinum jewel
Yes.
right here. I
Yes.
see you.
I
Don't
love
make
it.
me call names.
I
Don't make
love
me
it.
call names. Brittany, Devin, Lee, Sarah, Bonnie, Timmy, Simone. Don't make me ask like who's gonna start because
Please don't be shy. I have all the, I mean, I'm going to give you my honest to God truth if you can't tell already. So don't be shy. Ask me anything. I mean, anything.
Devin, ask a question. You know I was gonna call you.
Hi, Devin.
Devin is a multi-talented artist who just got a campaign from Facebook.
Oh, wow.
hmm So she was sharing that yesterday in the meeting. So she's a rapper and performer and many things.
Oh, wow.
But, you know, Europe. Throw a question. Gotta turn the volume off. We can't hear you. First of all, and you have your mute on. You still have your mute. Oh goodness. If anyone wants to ask a question, Brittany, Imani, if
Hi.
you want to throw, who's that? Simone,
Simone.
the question.
Hi. I'll go first. I'll take one for the team. First of all, thank you so much. It's wonderful to hear you speak. And Kiki, thank you so much, for presenting us with these opportunities. This is so exciting, just from a fan point of view. You said that at one point you had to change your image, and it sounds like it was a great move in terms of like business strategy in your career. But do you feel like on a personal level you kind of lost part of yourself, or do you feel more like you found or connected with a part of yourself? Like was there a personal sacrifice there? The context for me is that I'm looking to get into the music industry, and already I'm having thoughts about how I may need to adapt, but also change things that perhaps I would rather not. So yeah.
You know, and you know, I always, great question, by the way. I think that me changing who in the beginning, creating an image for myself in 1990s hip hop was okay until I realized that communities was taking it in the wrong in the wrong context. So for me, it wasn't a good look because, you know, they were saying, do you think violence is happening because of hip hop and this? So it made me want to change in a different way because of that. I think for an artist, because, you know, I think a truthful artist, when you are true to who you are, so the journey, Stinky, be quiet, please. I think the journey to finding who you are, it's such a beautiful thing. I think if you can authentically create the best version of you, that's where, and I'm not saying, you know, like, you know, I like sexy. I mean, women have to have this certain image, and it's beautiful because I think you will arrive at the beauty of you. Beauty sells, you have to know that in this industry. Beauty sells, I mean, you know, your beauty's gonna get you in the door, okay, before your voice, sometimes, depending on what it is, if you're a woman. But I think finding the best version of you is how you arrive at a comfortable you too, which is difficult to do. For example, I hear some, you know, when I say, oh, we need to switch up this music. I'm sick of the butt clapping, you know, pole dancing music, you know. So I say that, okay, I'm sick of it a little bit. And then people say, oh, I do conscious rap. That's all I do is conscious rap. He's like, wait, that's not really what I'm saying. I want somebody who can really spit, you know, their authentic self. That's what sells, your authentic self. So success is, I know I'm going to make it short. Success is not too high and not too low. Success is right in the middle. So for an artist, you say, who's your top 10? You would say, who's your top 10? Write your top 10 down. And where do you fit in that top 10? And people say, oh, I don't want to do that. I want to do something else. Well, underground, there's no radio station for underground rap. There's no radio station for underground music. So if you do want to be on the charts, you do want to get recognized for your success. I mean, you know, you have to find that happy medium. Where do you fit in? And then you kind of, you know, find your authentic self within there and make it beautiful. I mean, you know, because that's what music is. You want to see it, you want to enjoy it. With that pretty smile, I can't wait to see it. I want to see it and I want to hear it. I want to see it and hear it. I want to see what you come up with. You know what I mean? But finding the best version of you and pushing it. And just knowing where do you see yourself at the end? Do you want to do movies? Do you want to seeing who you are, finding out, you know, and following the journey of other women who have done it? You know, how did they do it? Diana Ross is a great artist who has done great for herself, you know, and yet she's sexy, passionate, loving music, television, you know, the whole nine. Yeah, okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hi, I want to ask a question. I had to digest everything and I want to say thank you. I do appreciate you coming and speaking to us. Very inspiring. Where am I coming from? Okay, well, I am originally from Little Rock, Arkansas, but I live in Atlanta now, working. Hello. So my question, you kind of touched on this a little bit during your last answer, but how do you measure your successes, right? Because the last answer was specifically to the music business, but you have so many ventures, you've taken us on like this narrative of your life. And I know that, you know, there are mountains and there are valleys, but to you, how do you measure yourself?
You know, I measure, nice to meet you. You know, I measure my success by my happiness and my peace. The ability to do whatever I want to do, and to have that realization that it's possible, is where I measure my success. I feel like I am keeping myself in the loop. And how do you keep yourself in the loop? Well, I show up. Like I said, even when I wanted to do acting, the relationships I've created have allowed me to rejoin this new generation of developers, those who were in my area of music. Now they are the CEOs. Now they are the people who were making decisions. Before they were just, the A&Rs. They were just these. Now, I measure my success because I don't burn bridges. I live and walk with integrity. What people think of me matters. I am a great person. I do great things. I'm forever trying to be great, and not just for the sake of someone else, for the sake of me, for my family, for my reputation. And I think that with that kind of mindset, when a door opens, I have the ability to walk through it depending on my level of preparation, you know? And if it's someone sitting on the other side who might have seen me coming up, they'll remember my journey. They'll say, YoYo was always sweet. She was a nice girl. I mess with YoYo. YoYo's cool people. Oh man, that's my girl YoYo. I remember I seen her and asked her to take a picture. YoYo, thank you. I still got that picture. Do you mind? All of that matters. And I measure my success. That's how I measure my success, by the love and respect that I'm getting, and the fact that I can, to be kissing 50 this year and, doing a deal with Disney, I know, praise God, who would have ever thought, but yeah.
That was so brilliant and beautiful. I hope you see showing up, as we talked about the difference between a professional and an amateur. She just bodied it. Throw your questions in. You guys know what to do.
Go ahead, Timmy.
Hi.
Hi.
So, I want to be a rapper one day.
Okay.
And I was
wondering and where you're from, and then you.
Sorry. My name is Temi. I'm from the UK.
Hi, Tim.
And I would like to be a rapper one day, like UK. But I kind of have like two questions.
Yes.
So, I don't know. I kind of have a different accent to most of the girls that are rapping right now.
Which is gonna make you fire, which is gonna make
and that kind of makes me feel like I can't. But like, in order to rap, you really have to bring out your own voice. And like, I have all of that inside of me, but I'm not sure how to bring it out. And then like you said, like there is a lot of like hypersexualized music out there right now. And I do want to talk about my sexuality, but I want to talk about myself, and not in a way that is kind of adhering to like male gaze and like the way that they want us to talk about ourselves, if that.
Yeah.
So I wondered what advice you could offer towards that.
Well, first of all, I think your accent is going to take you over the top, because music is so universal and it's so wide open. I think what's going to make you successful is your hook. It's the beat and the hook. It's the catchy rhythm that will drive people in. It will hook them in. I think if you came in and say, with your accent, I'm the Haagen-Dazs shop of Ben & Jerry's. What's your pedigree? Mine's is legendary. Yeah, but you're saying, it's the music and the hook. I think it doesn't matter what you talk about. Even if you want to talk sexual, I hate to use that word so much now because so many people are talking about it. If you are 1000% you, no matter what you say. It is the melody that people would love, and it is the music behind the melody that people would love. I think hip hop is, I think you have, I don't think there's no stopping. And, you know, I think don't put that in front of you. You know, don't make that an issue. It's not an issue. Do you understand what I'm saying, or am I answering your question a little bit?
Yeah. You are. I'm just processing everything that you're
Yeah, because if you know, it's the hook of the song that's what's going to make, you know, it's the hook of the song. I know this. There's this song right now, and it goes, money, I need money, I need money, money, I need money. Have you heard that song? She has an accent, but it's so dope, and it's hip hop. If you haven't, I can't think of who sings it, but she said, money, I need money. And she comes in and her delivery, and it's so different, and she's creating her own lane for herself. And I think she has an accent. I'm not sure where she's from, but I love it. You know, you know, I think the fact that you're not from the States gives you a different level of respect, because, you know, the States, they want to know if you're with a clique. You know, you have the ability, because you're from the UK, to be more flexible. They'll take an artist and respect you as an artist instead of coming in with a clique, to be totally honest. You just need to find a dope producer.
What advice do you have about confidence? Like, really, because you, in order to step to the mic, like I have confidence, I can bring confidence out of myself in other ways, but there's a whole different confidence to be able to even
right.
I spoken word, and I even freestyle like a spoken word. I write, so it takes up. I want to be able to do that, like to do a freestyle, like that is my aim, because I have it. It's just, yeah.
What's your hip hop name?
Revolver.
Revolver, spit something.
Oh, now look. Now you done did it.
Revolver, spit.
You know.
Something.
You know.
Revolver. That builds your confidence. Just that right there, being able to, when someone says spit, that builds your confidence. Being ready when someone says, let me hear you sing. Boys to Men were ready. When Michael Bivins said sing, they was out there singing. They you know, you can't have, you have to.
The audacity, who gave it to you? That sense of entitlement. I need some enlightenment. You're there looking at me, staring at me. What am I supposed to do? Squeeze my tits down on my chest so you can't see that I have two beautiful, bodacious, bouncing breasts. Since I got these, let's forget the rest. My beating heart, my brain, the pieces of me that just want to peacefully go about my day. You seem to think that they don't quite have any say because I'm a person with tits. I don't put up with that shit, not one bit.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
What the hook gonna be?
Bloop, 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 bloop.
Woo! So listen, I love it. And that's how you build your confidence. Voa, you perform, you're ready. And you know, the more you do it, the more you perform, you get out there, that builds your confidence, and you create your image. You know, look at yourself in the mirror and rap to yourself in the mirror. Say it out loud. Hey, two tits, whooping. Yeah, what the, you know? So just that confidence comes with time. You know, it comes with time. And the more you perform, And there's so many, this new generation, they're studio artists. You know, I come from a generation where we performed a lot. We had talent shows. So your homework is to find as many talent shows as you can do, even in your room. You know, set up a space in your room where you perform, go live, maybe once a month, twice a month, go live and perform. It'll build your confidence. Don't read the comments, you know, but it'll build your confidence.
Temi, you good. I want some more questions. Now, okay. you just got to spit in front of YoYo, man. So I don't even know like what that was, what just happened, but you and I will talk more about that.
I love it.
What just happened later, okay? Let me have someone else. Let me have another one of you guys a question while we still have this lady with us.
Hi, YoYo. I'm Deja. I am one of Kiki's assistants here at TFA. I grew up in DC, live in Maryland. I'm a photographer, poet, etc., etc., etc. My question for you is in regards to the music industry, and what do you see hope in the future of rap and the future of hip hop and women that are entering this industry? Especially when you talk about how, you know, you had all of these journalists coming to you like, oh, are you a mentor? Like, what do you do? And you had that one moment where you were like, hey, don't say that. Don't say that. So listening to the music that we have today, you know, in a lot of aspects, they are speaking their truth. They are vocalizing their sexuality. But, you know, what is your thoughts on that in our future and having role models? Because I feel like with your generation of musicians, especially like we said, Queen Latifah, Salt and Pepper, TLC, you all have a certain level of respect that we can look up to. But looking at, I'll call them my generation of musicians and artists, I feel like it's on another level. And I just wanted to know, like, how do you see the playing field continuing?
Well, first of all, nice to meet you, and thanks for your question. I think, you know, I love it. I love artistry. I'm a complete artist. Of course, I'm annoyed sometimes, and there's just some songs I just love to death. There's some songs I can't wait to TikTok to and do all of that other stuff. I think leadership has always lacked. My generation, yours, you grow into yourself. Like I told you guys how I started pouring back into myself. I didn't always make the right choices. I mean, I can go back and listen to some of my songs, and I'll just shake my head like, what was I thinking? Yeah, you know, and someone else will love it, be like, wait, that's not good, you know, and I'm thinking like, oh God, no, you know. I think being able to express yourself, it's almost like, you know, writing an essay or writing, you know, a writer. You got to get it out your head. Some people get it out their head and they become very successful in doing so. Or, you know, it's just what the industry is looking for, so they find themselves into it. I think leaders are made with you. I mean, it's not always those who are in front, but it's those who work side by side with them, work with them, you know, because this industry is so huge. Yeah, I think your industry is going to do very well. Those who are getting taken advantage of will stand up, and those who are coming up behind them. I love that women are really moving some numbers, and people have to respect us. And you know, Cardi B, I love her. I love her mouth. I mean, you know, when she knows better, she'll do better, which we all have. You know, and but for right now, she has a voice and she uses it. You know. So I love it. I love it. I mean, you know, some of it's just complete trash, and you can't do anything about that. I mean, we had some trash rappers too, and somebody might consider me to be a trash rapper. The good thing is, when I knew better, I did better. So, you know, I think the more you know, the more you grow. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm the Haagen-Dazs. State of Ben and Jerry's. What's their pedigree? Mine's legendary. Tell them hard work, dedication. TMT, but no affiliation. Yeah, thanks.
We got some more questions. Who wants to go next? Devin, did you manage to get it on? Hey, there you go.
Yes. Thank you for your patience and thank you for your time today. And Kiki, as always, for creating the space.
Thank you.
But yes, I found some light, got a little hat because my forehead was tripping.
Got the hat going.
You know, but yes, my question, I'm an artist, I sing and I rap. I also curate events. And one thing that I know to be very critical in growing is having a team. Mm-hmm. However, in my experience, I've met a lot of great people, and I do feel that I'm great at making genuine long-term relationships. Mm-hmm. But trusting people to invest long-term in me is something that I guess for myself, I haven't put that trust into people to ask them to be my this or my that. And so therefore I don't have a solid team, although I have people around me that I know are capable and willing. How did you go about building your team? How did you find your team? And what role did that play in your journey?
Wow. Wow. Nice to meet you. And that is an amazing.
That's an amazing question.
Amazing question because teamwork is so important. I mean, sometimes people buy the team, you know, they just don't buy the artist, they buy the whole team. And people love that because a lot of people think that, okay, if I get a deal with this label, the label's going to do all this work. And the label's like, oh, wait, we have all of this other work to do. You don't have a team to do that. So that's a great question. I think it's the hardest thing you could ever do. To find a great team is to find success, like I said too. So what I would suggest is going out and meeting people. The worst thing you can do is something I did for a very long time is I hired family and friends. I used their loyalty and their hard work to work for me. And it didn't work for that. It didn't. So majority of my career, I've had best friends acting as road managers. I've had sisters acting as, you know, so-and-so and so-and-so, which did not work. You know, I think I would advise you to go get out. And this is where the show up comes out. You know, you have to show up, not just for yourself. Go to other people's event. Go out and see other artists perform. Go out in other spaces. And that's where you meet people who are already doing those type of things. That's where the relationship building comes. You say, oh, hey, what do you do? And you start talking and you say, oh, and now it's not your friend. Now you're hiring someone that really does the job. That's what they do. And then it's easier to fire them if you don't like them. It's easier to say, hey, let me test you out. Can we do 2 weeks? You know, you don't always have to hire them. Hey, listen, my name is so-and-so. And once people see your talent, 9 times out of 10, they want to work with you just like you want to work with them, because a group of successful people want to work with the successful artists. And if they can see the success in you and you the success in them, sometimes money is never exchanged. It's just like, hey, we want to get there. We want to arrive at the same place. And when you make it, I want to be on your team. I want people to know that I did your PR. I was the one who was handling your social media, because that's what I do. I handle social media. I am the PR rep. I want people to know when you make it that I did your PR. So it's almost like you bring these people along with you, but you can't do it if you don't get out and meet new friends. It's not going to be the kids you grew up with, unless that's what they're doing. It's not going to be your mama and your daddy, unless they're already in the business doing it. All right.
That was so helpful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You received that.
I received all of that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You just hit every point. You know, I hope you see these things in the sessions that we're doing every week, when I'm literally asking you to think about your network. you know, and what people could do to help you, and then get out there and be in your creative community, show up for other people.
Yeah, and it's uncomfortable. Getting out there is uncomfortable. Why? Because sometimes you feel like I don't look like the artist I want to be. I'm not portraying who I am, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It'll come. You'll start seeing what you want by getting out there. You say, you know, I saw this girl. That's who I want to look like. You know, I didn't know the image I wanted. I had to see it. And still today, when I'm trying to find an image I'm looking for, or a look I want to, you know, portray, or, you know, even post a picture I want to take, the clothes I want to wear, I have to go find the image, and then I duplicate it. I know. Such an artist.
Yes.
Such an artist.
I
can't see it. Yeah.
Using other artists as inspiration.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a dope ass question.
Yeah, very dope. Right.
I have. Does anyone else? Or I could read one of these questions, or does anyone else wanna? I got Stephanie Carnegie in here. Also, some great people in here. But you guys wanna take advantage? Take advantage just for you.
And I love it. And I'm so grateful you guys have me here. I want to answer all of the questions. If you have questions, I'm not leaving until I get them all.
Wow.
And I'd love to answer
Thank you so
all of them.
much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'll jump into the question. I'm Maggie. I am an assistant at TFA alongside Deja, here with Kiki. It's been a really great experience so far. Outside of that, every year I return to my high school and I do theater education with the local community, and I work with a lot of middle school and high schoolers to kind of develop their confidence and perform and things like that. And I think something I've noticed, particularly nowadays, where everyone's, you know, on social media and everything, there's this idea of like, I always have to present the perfect version of myself at all times. And I was just wondering if you had any advice, or like, what would you tell someone that's having a hard time, you know, when they are performing, they're watching themselves and you can see that they're in their head and they're not letting go. I want to see if you had any advice for that.
Yeah, you know, and you're so right. This new generation, that's really what they're going for. It is the new way to introduce yourself. You're seeing so many artists become successful overnight, or what do you call it, going viral. So a lot of artists are saying, hey, listen, why isn't that me? I think, like I was saying earlier in one of my answers to someone, trying to find your truth. You know, who are you? Which is a great way to start. I mean, you know, it seems so corny, you know, because, you know, when we were coming up, they say, well, what kind of boy, you know, you're in a relationship, what kind of guy do you like? You say, oh, I want him tall, dark skinned, this, blah, 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 blah. Say, who are you? That's a question you have to ask yourself, because you have to stop and say, who am I? And what do I want to represent? You know, and I think the more you ask yourself that question, it helps you start seeing yourself. And slowly but surely, which happens to those who are still searching, you start to see yourself. You start to look at yourself, and those eyes look back at you. And you just start looking like, oh my God, I'm looking at me, and me is looking at me, you know? But the more you do, the more comfortable you are with yourself. And it's okay. Sometimes you need to see yourself. And I think, and it's okay. But when you are trying to get to a level of success, or someone to really take notice in you, you need to work through those kinks. So hurry up and get those out the way, because people want to see your confidence. They want to see, okay, that's why I said every week you should be posting. So you can erase those. 3 months from now, you can erase those old posts, or you can go back to them and look at them and say, wow, I've really grown. It's a space that you can take advantage of early, and you can, you know, record yourself make it a point to record yourself every week and look at yourself. Am I watching myself? What am I looking at? Does it look like I'm watching myself? Does it look like I'm comfortable? Maybe I'll hold my head up. Maybe my head down too low. This shirt is not flattering on me when I perform. This is you know, so you can feel confident, because the more confident you are as an artist, it will show. And the more you test yourself out for yourself, then you can kind of weed out what makes you insecure.
Thank you so much.
Did I answer?
Yeah,
okay.
Great, thank you.
Okay. And these are my Disney nails, by the way.
I love those nails.
These are my Duchess nails.
I love it. We got a question from Ayana. Ayana, you want to ask your question?
No, I don't want to ask my question. I want you to ask the question.
No.
I told her that YoYo is one of my favorite of all. Like, it's my mom, my dad, and then YoYo. So, so I told her I wasn't going to ask, because I'm going to start fanning out, and I don't want to fan out and like. I want to keep it business. Okay. So I'm trying to hold it together. Like, but if I ever had a chance to talk to YoYo or Michael Jackson or anybody like that, I just figured I would just lose it, and I'm losing it. So my question was, I have a lot of questions really, but I want to ask a question that I think the artist would benefit from. And that one is, what do you think is the key to longevity in the industry?
Yeah. The key to longevity in this industry is respect. It's respect. That's one thing. Having a good lawyer is another thing. A lot of people think, you know, you don't have to pay attention to the small people. I don't have to say hi to the guy in the corner, or the person who's bringing the food, or to the person who's taking the order. You know, longevity is having respect and showing respect, and it's a boomerang effect. What you give, you get back. Mike Tyson, you know, really had to humble himself. You know, in order for people to take Mike Tyson back into their loving arms and love him once again after he bit off that guy's ear, which I love Mike Tyson to death, don't get me wrong, is he had to come back humble. No one wanted to see him. And, you know, and if you see Mike Tyson today and hear him speak, even though he speaks with truth, he is very humble. I think humility matters, grace, being graceful, having a great lawyer, understanding your business keeps you there, and knowing how to go about handling your business. You know, yeah, I would like to say that. I'd like to say, you know, it's really a respect thing. You know, the ladder goes like this. It's an escalator. It goes like this, and then it goes like this. And it's just the ever moving flow. You're not always on top, but when you're on the bottom, not being afraid to continue to work on yourself. Like for me, at my worst time, I was going to school. I created the YoYo School of Hip Hop. It was a good thing for me, because little did I know I was planting seeds, you know. So yeah.
So for the artists that, you know, I'm 48, so, you know,
yes,
I'm your era. The artists that, and I watched, you know, with those of us who saw you all come up, and you all were our artists, are particularly proud when we see those of you who are still here in the industry and doing so many different things. And then you have artists who were great, but you almost forget about them. So like, what do you think would you say is the difference between like you and Queen and some of the other artists that stayed in the industry and did different things, and then those who are great artists but fell off?
Yeah, well, recreating yourself, keeping yourself alive in the industry. And I say that a lot. When I say show up, showing up is a major key. People forget about you easy. And, you know, if you're only in it for the money, you won't last. because sometimes it's the relationships you're building and it's not the money. Sometimes you're creating another space for yourself, and it has nothing to do with you getting on the radio or people hearing your song or putting you in the right place. Queen Latifah is successful to this day is because she took her art to another level. She showed up not just for music, she showed up as a humanitarian, a philanthropist. She, created space for other people, which made her a boss in this industry. I think so. Those who have disappeared, and I've seen one-hit wonders who still show up, who get work. Keith Washington, kissing you, loving you all, still performing and doing a lot of stuff.
That's so true.
Right, one-hit wonder. However, I mean, with people knew that he has many other songs, but he still shows up, and I think that's just what it is. It's recreating yourself, just not getting stuck in a rut. Oh, if I can't sing, I don't want to do nothing else. Well, listen, that's a tiny hole to climb through.
You mentioned humility, and I wanted to know where's the fine line between humility and confidence? Because one of the things that people have said to me quite often is, Deja, you're too humble. But I know in certain aspects, like, I guess I struggle with the confidence behind my art and my work. And I guess part of it is me seeing other photographers and other people in my industry doing certain things, and they seem to be succeeding at a rate where, it's like, okay, I do the work, but what's the issue with my work? Why am I not getting seen? I know I'm good, but maybe I'm not as good as I think I am. But people are like, Deja, you're good. So I guess where's that fine line between being too humble and then just I guess not.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think maybe you got to reach higher. Your humility is beautiful. I think you're probably not getting the recognition because you're not aiming higher. You're not aiming high enough. If you are good, go find, your job is to go find an artist that's got some clout. Go shoot them. Ask them if you can shoot them. Get in their DMs. Go talk to some people. Go do some different work. Go do some abstract work. Put it up there. Okay. Aim higher. I think maybe your humility is making you too level. From 1 to 10, where do you see yourself? Are you pushing past 10? And even with your humility, you should be reaching. Okay, artists shouldn't just get there by just riding the wave. You can't just ride the wave. You have to create it. You know what I mean? You have to make a splash. So are you out there reaching to talk to someone like, hey, I'd love to shoot you, feel like I have some dope art. Are you studying even higher with your art? What is the new trend? Are you hitting that new trend mark and pushing past that? Are you predicting the future? When it comes to art, are you setting the trend or are you following it? So I think that's probably where you're finding that mediocre place within your art. I don't think humility has nothing, because let me tell you something. One good run, honey, and you'll know. Talk to me nice. Yes, that's me, baby. How'd you get there? And then that's where your humility will match your confidence. Because you'll start saying, okay, now let me humble myself. Because you see it, boo. You know what I mean? So you'll like, yeah, that's me. And then you'll all right, bring it down a little bit, but yeah, so go higher, push. You pulling right now, push.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I see questions. Ask the question.
Me, am I allowed to, or should I wait? Okay. Hi, YoYo. Sorry, I just woken up, so I don't think I don't think I need to like. Thank you. Hi, it's lovely to meet you.
Thank you.
I feel like my ego is my superpower.
Is what? Pardon me?
My superpower.
Okay.
So I'd say since I was young, I was always able to assert myself. Whatever room I went into, my voice would be heard, and I've never had a problem like proclaiming it from the rooftops. Not saying I don't have like low confidence or battle with like low self-esteem, because I have, but when I need to pull something out of the bag, I always do, I always have. And then I worked in a theatre for a while, and during that time I networked, I talked to whoever I wanted to talk to, I really pushed and asserted myself, and my bosses wanted to curb it. They wanted to take it away. They wanted to tell me that I wasn't who I thought I was. But I always think I am who I think I am. And when people ask me who I think I am, I say my name's Temi Dayo, and I really, really mean it. Like, who are you to tell me I can't do anything? And yeah, so it's been like that, and I've always asserted myself. But I know, especially because I started directing recently, my ego has taken a whole new turn. Like, I genuinely believe I'm destined for greatness, and my head is big, 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 and like I know that is my strength. And I know when people try and take that away from me, that's when the opportunities start falling away. And like I go within myself, and I know it's not healthy. But then also, I can't be like, I need to learn some form of humility, and like to have that space where I'm like not so big-headed and not so like I'm the ish, but I'm trying to find the balance, because I don't want to take away it all, because I know it's so valuable. Does that make sense?
Finding the happy medium. Yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying, which it is good. While you were talking, I was just thinking, with that confidence, there's nothing wrong with it. I think I love it. I would ask you to, I mean, while you were talking, I'm just thinking, I'd love for you to maybe once a week create music and dance with your music. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I'm just giving you this assignment. Create dance with, almost like if you were TikToking. I want rhythm with your rhymes. And you should do it once a week if you can, or maybe twice a month if you can. The reason why I'm saying that is when you start working on yourself, your ego will fall in place. Right now, you're at the place where you probably feel like you have to pump yourself up and stay there, which is okay. Like, listen, you're not going to hurt my feelings. You're not going to tell me I'm not good. You know, you have to have that confidence, because if you don't believe it, no one else will. But if you start working on yourself and creating your stage show and creating this whole thing, your ego will fall in place, and you know, and it won't stand out to where it bothers people, and people just have to respect it. I don't think anything is wrong with that personally. I mean, humility, to humble yourself. I think when you start doing the work and performing more, your ego will automatically humble itself. The first time I got booed off stage was a very humbling experience, you know, but it didn't stop me. And I'm very confident in who I was. Very confident then. I was young, you know, and you know, I felt horrible. I didn't even tell anybody I got booed, but then yeah, what are you thinking?
We need to bring back Showtime at the Apollo. That's your humbling experience for artists.
Yes. Yes. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. It humbles you quick. So I think if you watch yourself, like I was telling the other young lady, if you watch yourself perform and then look back at yourself, you know, you'll start finding out, yeah, I can do this better. Let me work on that a little bit more. But if you just in your head with it, and you're just bigging yourself up in your head, it could be a dangerous thing for you, because you don't want to get booed and then quit. You know, drop the mic and say, I never want to do this again, run off the stage, and, you know?
Wow, yes. I think that, you know, one of the things that you said reminded me of this quote about Michael Jordan, which is that he even if he was down, he gave like 110% every time, because it never really took, he said, this might be someone's first and only time to see me playing. So I gotta show up like that. So I think about that a lot. Like, as we say, no matter if it's 5 people, it's 1,000 people, you gotta
Yes.
connect to you and show up 100%, because you never know. You never know who's in the building. You never know who's taking the video and sending it to someone. You
That's
never
right.
know, like, you know who someone that you cross paths with is going to evolve into, if they're in that same path trying to get it, just like you're trying to get it. That's why creating this circle of hustlers that are like-minded in terms of your values and way of being, respect and all of that, but that work ethic.
Yeah.
You really are a representation of that you surround yourself with, as far as that work ethic.
And working at it. People want success, but they don't want to work at it. People want to be famous and they're lazy. You know, people want somebody to make them famous, like, make me famous. No, you're going to make yourself famous. Nobody's going to do you no favors. When you become successful, it's because you've worked hard for it. You've shown up, you've participated, people know you, you've created a space for yourself, and it's not in the limelight. You've created this space for yourself. When someone comes up to you and give you an opportunity, it's not that they're doing you a favor. It's because you've earned it. You've earned whatever you get, you've earned it. So nobody's going to do you no favors. Nobody's going to make you successful. You're going to make yourself successful. You're going to put yourself in the right situation, and somebody's going to see you and spot your talent. And guess what? And the opportunity is going to meet your preparation, and magic is going to happen.
We couldn't do better than that. Do you understand? She pretty much, that, what a wonderful way to bring it together, because you've been so generous with your time today. Like,
thank you.
You know, going so above and beyond what we could have hoped for, and so gracious and generous with all of your wonderful stories.
Thank you.
And she doesn't age at all. What is the secret?
Thank you.
Not a wrinkle at all, not a bump. Everything is taut and tight, you know, looking just fresh. So
looking like 1985.
Hey, 1990.
Okay, 1990. Okay, 90. We'll go to 90.
Was it, you know, 1995?
1990s. Jump into the 90s.
Jump into the 90s. Looking, you know, amazing, but also inside so beautiful.
Yes, thank you.
So beautiful, so strong, so embodying just this creative artist that's gonna always branch out and keep growing and pushing past, you know, your comfort zone, and that's what the Fearless Artist is all about. That's the conversation around building a team, conversation around just, you know, but it all starts with you and believing in yourself.
Yeah.
And that's just going to help you shine, and others are going to be attracted to that, and others are going to want to aid and assist that and celebrate that. And this is the community that we have here, like a space for you to celebrate and be proud of what you're doing.
Yeah.
No one is going to dog it or try to minimize it or try to say, it's not that big of a deal. It is a big deal. To hold your head up no matter what and keep going. You all are doing so amazing, and sometimes we can't see it because it's like we're in it, but from the outside it's like you're exceptional because you're just trying, and most people are not even trying to do shit.
Not even trying. That's right. Yes.
You know I'm here for you, and I really, really am so blessed to have this guest just bless us with all of this wisdom and encouragement and further inspiration.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
Thank you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of all of us.
Thank you. And yeah, you can always reach out to me through Key. And if you guys ever need me, Key, I'm Auntie YoYo to any artist. If you ever need me, you just reach out to me and I'll be right there, okay?
We have got to collaborate in the future. I would love to talk to you about our free art of communication hip hop freestyle contest that we had at Art Basel.
Okay.
So many people, over 500 people came, and we gave
wow, I'd love it.
I'd
love it.
13 freestyle fire, 3 rounds. Thurston Howell the third was a judge. It was just an amazing event where they blended sort of talking about the art on the walls, different things, and freestyle. I mean, it was a super fire event. So
wow.
We're doing it again this year.
Okay.
And we have a huge show every year during Miami Art Basel. So I'll definitely.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, my people are down there. Yeah, let me know. I'd love to participate. And to all of the students, yes, if ever you have any questions, you make sure you reach out. I am right here. And yeah.
I have a question about her school. Your school, I may have missed this because I came on late. Can you share a little bit more about your school and how to get enrolled?
The School of Hip Hop, it's arts and academics. Well, we're down now. We're putting it all online because normally we have it where we go out and we work with the students. We do beat production classes, vocal training, theater. Artists learn how to rap, write songs. Yeah, build studios and break them down. All of those good things. And we have an Instagram. It's YoYo School of Hip Hop, YoYo _school of hip hop. And my Instagram is at YoYo Fearless. I'm going to put it in there in case somebody wants to.
Yep, I can put it in there. She can put it in there again for us.
Okay, at YoYo Fearless, because you see I have these Duchess nails on. At YoYo Fearless, but if anyone is interested, yeah, we do. They have private lessons. Our kids work with top artists. We've had Kelly Price teach vocal classes. We've had so many people teach beat production and all of those good things. And because of the pandemic, we haven't had any classes. We're now working to get it all online, but hopefully we'll be back in the building soon. But yeah, if anyone is interested in any of my wisdom, knowledge, or information, resources, relationships, it's all available to you. I'm at YoYo Fearless. And yep, it is my honor and pleasure to hopefully hear from you again.
We thank you and we love you so much.
Thank you. I love you guys too. I appreciate it.
You're amazing.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Blessed night.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. I will see you guys next week and love you guys. Thanks so much.
Okay, peace, you guys. Thanks, Kiki. Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.